Hello heroes and villains, welcome to Multiverse. And not too long ago I saw the Justice League Dark movie, Apokolips War, and as I was watching the movie I thought there's a few styles that could be interesting to recreate in DC Universe Online. And some of you guys even asked as much, so tonight is the night of nights, we will take a look at some of those styles. There's not that many styles that we can recreate, or some of the styles, some of the characters in the movie are characters that I pretty much already covered quite a few times. I guess I should say spoiler alert. So if you guys didn't see Justice League Dark Apokolips War just yet, maybe you should watch it before you watch this video. I already made a video about our friend John Constantine, but let's start the video with him. Basically we have the detective trench coat, which is perfect for our friend Constantine. For the pants and the shoes, the business pants and the business shoes usually do the trick. There's also the casual shoes, I think, that would create a similar effect. For the accessory, it's the runic hands accessory. This one is the golden runic hands. And there's even the Constantine emblem. Technically, Constantine doesn't really have an emblem, but we do have a Constantine emblem in DC Universe Online, and I thought it would be a bit of a waste not to use it. And of course, last but not least, the Constantine hairstyle, also known as the con job. I already made a video about Constantine, so if you want to see more styles or more options for our friend Constantine, just search in my videos for that. So next we have our friend Superman. At some point in the movie, Superman gets some sort of kryptonite tattoo, which pretty much robs him of his powers. It should probably kill him, not just remove his powers, but within the context of the film, that's what it does. I couldn't find a proper chest piece to be able to show off Superman's tattoo, but at some point he does end up shirtless anyway, so that's what I went with. So we have the shirtless Superman with the kryptonite tattoo, the jeans, the casual shoes. I gave him the kryptonite aura to kind of match with the tattoo. And I gave him some white glowing, some green glowing eyes because of the kryptonite, I assume. And of course, when they don't know what to do with Superman design-wise, they give him a beard. That seems to be the go-to move that people do to try to get a different type of Superman. But then later on in the movie, they give him a Lex Luthor type of armor. So here I gave him mostly the visitor style. Although for the gloves and the boots, there's any number of gloves and boots that could do the trick. I probably could have used the visitor gloves and boots as well, but this looks more like what Superman had like the costume that Superman had in the movie. But any number of boots would do the trick. Any number of metallic, robotic-looking boots would do the trick, and the same for the gloves. But the style that truly inspired this video was that at some point in the movie, the evil Trigon the Terrible takes over Superman. At some point, Constantine tries to con Trigon to take him over, but Trigon decides, nah, I'm going to take over Superman instead, and that's what he did. So that's kind of what gave me the idea for this look. Obviously, I cannot have the 4 eyes that Superman Trigon should have. There is a Trigon headpiece in DC Universe Online, but sadly it doesn't really look like Trigon. So this is about as close to the Trigon Superman as I was able to get. For the gloves, I'm using the dystopian gloves. The horns, the huge horns, are the Avatar of Sin horns. The back piece is the Conqueror back piece, and I've also used the Fierce material on that back piece. The boots is the Amazon Soldier boots. The legs are the Amazon Strategos. And for the belt, I went for the Fallen God. So within the context of this Universe Online, this is sadly about as close to Trigon Superman as I was able to get. And then later on, we get the actual Trigon, or at least a version of Trigon. It's pretty much the same styles as our Trigon Superman with a few slight differences. Obviously there is no cape. For the hairstyle I went with the long curly hairstyle, but just a long hairstyle would do the trick if you don't have the long curly hair. For the shoulders, he had some sort of magic runes sort of floating over the shoulders. It's not exactly it, but the closest I could find was the runes of the Norsemen. So again, it's not exactly it, and again, I wish I had the 4 eyes, but if I use the Trigon headpiece to get the 4 eyes, it will look nothing like Trigon. And next we have our friend Etrigan the Demon. I wish I had the big body style to be able to look a bit more like Etrigan, but I'm not going to change the body style of my character just for those videos. I'm sorry to say that. For the headpiece and the pants, I went with the Belial. From what I understand, it's supposed to be inspired by Etrigan, and you can sort of see it, especially in the headpiece. But it is a helmet; it's not a demon's head, if it makes sense. For the bracers, I went with the Shazam bracers. The belt is the clasped buckle belt. The boots are the cuffed boots. The cape, I went with the cloak of Nabu, or Nabu's cloak. I forget the actual name. Nabu's chosen. I should have known that. For the shoulders, there's any numbers of shoulders that could be used, but I guess the Department of Correction is the ones that looks the closest visually to the shoulders that Etrigan had in the movie. For the skin, I'm using the demon skin. Actually, for the boots, I'm not sure why I had the red metallic material, so let's not use it. And for the chest piece, there's a few tank top or beach tank top that would do the trick. So this is fairly close to our friend Etrigan. The cape probably should be tattered a bit, but I really wanted to use a Nabu's cape, so I didn't go for the tattered cape. But you could decide to go for the tattered cape if you prefer. You decide. This being Etrigan the Demon, using the Scorching Aura is probably a good idea. But sadly, the Scorching Aura is a bit, let's say, difficult or expensive to get at this point. Although you could get a modular Scorching Aura from the Quarks vendor easily enough, if somehow you don't have the Scorching Aura. It's not the same, I agree, but sadly, the Scorching Aura at this point is very rare and very expensive if you manage to see it on a broker. So getting a modular version from the Quarks vendor might be your better option. And next we have the Batman. Here I'm using the black neon chroma material, but you don't have to use it. I'll show it to you without that material in just a minute. There's a few neon chroma materials that could probably be used, like there's a black composite chroma material that could be used if you do not have the black neon chroma. Now for the gloves, I'm using the Future Batman gloves. The belt is the Mr. Miracle belt, the Miraculous belt. For the chest piece and the pants, it's the Traces in Time. But there's a few others you could use. I guess you could go for the paneled bodysuit, but you won't have quite as many lines. There was quite a few red lines on the Batman costume in the Darkseid, in the Apokolips War movie. So obviously, if you do not have the black neon chroma material, you can decide to go without the material. And I have to admit it. I almost prefer it without the material, actually. Obviously, sadly, with the emblem, this is the BVS Batman emblem. If you don't have that emblem, you can use the Batman Rebirth emblem if you don't have the BVS emblem. This is the enhanced version of the emblem, but if you don't have the enhanced version, but you have the regular version, then use the regular version. You decide. And next we have Zatanna. Here I'm using the pearl material, the pearl chroma neon material for the chest piece. But if you don't have the material, you don't have to use the material. So this is fairly close to Zatanna in the movie. Sadly, it's let's say it's not a very strong design, I would say. They've been trying for pretty much forever. They've been trying to redesign Zatanna. I remember when I was a younger man reading comics in the 80s, already way back when they didn't really know what to do with the character, and I guess someone thought a lady in a suit and a top hat looked silly, so they've been trying to redesign the character for quite some time, and this is the design they settled for in the animated movie. For the chest piece, I went with the one piece. The gloves are the formal gloves. The pant, there's probably any number of slimline pants that would do the trick, but here I went with the Urban Slick. And the boots are the thigh-high boots. For the hairstyle, I couldn't really find anything exactly like the movie, but the wavy style was about as close as I could get. So it's not exactly it, but within this universe online, it's a good approximation of the look of the character in the movie. And next we have Raven. I made a Teen Titans video not too long ago where I already showed a few styles for Raven, but this is about similar to the design in the animated movie. For the headpiece, I went just with the hood, the shoulders, and the clasped thing that holds the cape. That's the Shazam shoulders. The back piece is a classic back piece. For the chest piece, I went with the short sleeve slimline. The belt, I went with the Techno belt. For the pants, I went with the net pants. But sadly, the net pants used to be on sale on the marketplace, and I think they've been removed from the marketplace. So if you don't already have them, sadly, you won't be able to use them. So if you do not have the net pants, you could go for the reverse slimline. And for the boots, I went with the clean cuffed boots. To look more like the version in the movie, I should probably use a smaller body size. Sadly, I'm not going to change my body size when I make these videos. And last but not least, we have the evil Darkseid. This is about as close as I was able to get from the version in the animated series. For the headpiece, I went with the progeny of Darkseid. The shoulders are the Sector Agent. For the chest piece, I went with the high collar, although it should be a short sleeve chest piece, but it's pretty much the only chest piece I had that was close enough to the look of Darkseid in the movie. So sadly, no short sleeves. For the gloves, I went with the classic rivets. The belt with the Techno belt. For the pants, I went with the Spirit of the Stag. Again, it's not exactly it, but it's as close as I could get. For the boots, there's a whole bunch of boots that could be used. Here I went with the Scion of Ion. The accessory, this is a black hole accessory. And for the aura, it's the blue plasmic aura. Personally, I prefer a much more classic version of our friend Darkseid, but within the context of the Apokolips War movie, this is as close as I was able to get. Oh, and I almost forgot, I'm using the blue vinyl neon chroma. If you have any questions, feel free to ask so in the comment section down below, and I'll see what I can do about answering your questions. I have roughly 2,000 videos about this universe online at this point, so if I don't answer your question right away, just search my videos. Odds are I already made a video that answered your question. And that's going to be pretty much it for now, guys. So as always, thank you for watching, and I will see you guys next time. Bye-bye.